No, you have to be exact. I have no idea if it's actually.
Is that which
There we
existed
go.
before
Oh no, I'm
time,
not streaming. There we
when
go.
the words of a story lose their meaning, when actions cease to have purpose. Know that only faith can protect you from this peril, here in the Garden of Worm.
Huh, that's what was the disaster? Am I broadcasting? I am broadcasting. I need that. I need that. That easy, huh? All right. Oh. How about that? It's no good until I immobilize that fan. This feels like it has to be the right way. What do I do here? Fuck. Well, what now? What if I bring this out here? I forgot all about this little guy. See. That was easier than expected. It does. It looks like it's way above my intellectual capacity, though. Like, once you start including portals in this shit, I check out. I kind of got other shit on the mind, though, right now. And VR is a good place for me. I need escapism at the moment. If I'd known there was going to be a medical crisis, I wouldn't have spent $244. On the other hand, I saved 56 versus buying it brand new. I also was interrupted from being able to get more money today because I couldn't go in to sell plasma. Play for the best. I've been feeling weak and sickly. I've been giving too frequently, I think. But I only get the benefits if I do it all in a certain time frame. Will this avail me? Mom is still in the hospital, sleeping. I don't know what's going to happen. Results were, on paper, better than expected. Could have been a lot worse than it was. What the fuck? And again. No. Forgot I could do that. That got me nowhere. It seems to work. Both of these need to be... How does that work? Is there any way to disrupt that? I can just do that? I can just do that! This whole time. Huh. Huh. How to do this. There we go. Simpler than I was making it. Sorry this is such a downer stream. On paper, this looked much harder. It turned out to be. How would one get at the star, though? Well, we're not solving that today. Is that all of them? Oh, there's one more. Uh-oh. There's a time travel one. We need a tool we don't have. Go back. This thing is what we need. Oh, we need one more. Fuck, that's the exact one we need too. How does that work? Oh, we didn't do most of these. I recognize this world. What got me stopped up here? Didn't I finish this world though? Did it reset or something? Shit. Oh no, I need that again. I don't have that. Fuck, what am I supposed to do? Let's go backwards. do it.
Attempting to track primary subject. Access denied. Query.
We have enough for this yet? We need 2 more L-shaped pieces. Shit. You really have to solve everything, don't you? That's not fair. There should be some allowance for ones you just can't solve. God damn it, Now would have been a really good time to have extra cash on hand, but I had to have that fucking Atari. Me and Atari, man, what's wrong with me? Why am I always gay for failed companies? I never pick the winners. I loved Sega. I loved Commodore. I loved Atari. I loved NEC's PC Engine series of consoles. Except for the PCFX, which didn't really deserve anyone's love, unfortunately.
My child, have you been tempted by the tower? Know that it holds only death for you.
Technically, from his point of view, that's true, because I leave his world. I did everything down there, didn't I? I want to say I did everything down there. I don't think there's anything down there for me. Let's take a look in Egypt. I didn't do a lot of these. Many of these never got done. Aha. Oh no, this is the one I could never fucking... God damn it. Not this one. Then again, we have new knowledge now, don't we? That we can use the disruptors on these. If there are any. If I could find 3 of these, I'd be in business. Oh yeah. I think this is what I'm supposed to do. I don't think I'm supposed to put a box back here. Question is now, do I knock that box free? Or is that how that's supposed to be? What is accomplished by elevating that repeater? So if I disable that beam, that fan stops. Question is how to do that. Let's see. This is really good at taking my mind off of things. That's why I got VR, so I don't have to look at the real world. How do I... Because that does that. Question is how do I use this without time travel or co-op to get that fan over there? Oh, it's on a timer. I use the fans to do it. Zoom over there, zoom over here. Go through here before that has time to... Okay. I may have fucked up then. I'm out of fans. I can still fix it. No, I can't fix it. Okay, that's important information. I know I need all the fans. I gotta restart now. I don't know what that means. That's not... Your reset is not my reset, I don't think. So the key is to get it to where I need to zip over here and use the fans to do it. So I understand that the emergency alert was supposed to turn us all to zombies today. That would have been exciting. No zombification on my end. You hear about that? The Marburg virus. Aha. I should have had more than enough fans last time. What the fuck happened? It's impossible to tell. Okay. I used the box this time. I believe that I used the box this time. I can't take the box with me. But yes, I can. I think this is what I do. Because I need all the fans over there. Oh no, but I need both boxes to stand in the way of this thing. Well then, wait, how can I possibly... I gotta do that later, I guess. They can't come first. I gotta wait on elevating that one. So now we have all these fans. Shit, really? No, almost. That's how you do it, though. I'm closer. Then I can do the other thing. Gotcha. That's really all it took. Did I not do that before? Did this not get saved? Did I quit without saving or some shit? I remember distinctly solving this now. Seems like we lost a lot of progress. Well, maybe I lost my connection to Steam and I'm overwriting in the cloud saves and something cloud save. I don't know.
Sure, I'd be happy to. What's up?
Yeah, I could swear we've done this. I've totally solved this before. Aha. Gotcha, bitch. Nothing back here. Oddly. Oh, this was teaching me how to do it for the next puzzle that I already did. It was easy peasy. Why was that so easy? I feel suspicious now. Are there any we didn't get? Nope, that's all of them. So what's the game plan now? Do you suppose we have the pieces we need to open that puzzle thingy? I know the one puzzle we haven't solved yet, and I'm never going to solve it. Never say never, but this time, yes, say never. Oh, there's two I haven't solved yet.
Before the Age of Chaos, there were other gods, old gods. But for all their power, they could not save their world. Thus, I was made, and I shall preserve this world forever, for you and your generations. That is my purpose.
Didn't I solve this one? I could swear I solved this one. I could swear I solved this. Um. I don't think I ever solved this one. Oh, there's a ladder over there. If I get all the way over there, then I can just come back here and switch that on. Alright. This gets me anything? Not even a disruptor? This does not get me a disruptor. That's not even good for anything. I don't see anything over here either. There's nothing there. I soft-locked myself, okay. I need Link's the Time Sweeper to help me out for longer than that. I could have sworn again that I beat this already. I erased my progress and I can't remember how I solved it. That's how that should be. That opens that. It's got to be that way. But then I can't get at that. Oh, you know what? Those other pieces stay where they are if I do that. Okay, I think I know what I'm doing now. It's not it. Something about this. No, that's still wrong. Let's do it the other way around. I should go stand on that, actually, shouldn't I? What's good, Fractastic? I can see you, actually. I don't know why you think I can't. I've got a plugin called OVR Drop that puts chat on my wrist. So when I look at my hand like this, I'm reading chat. Fuck, I didn't do it right. Is this it? Nice. My mother fell down the stairs last night. We both slept through it, so nobody found her until 9 this morning. She was dehydrated and incoherent. We took her to the hospital, which is where she still is now. Whoops. I still don't understand what I'm doing. I need to think about this. I don't know if I can solve this one. She's in reasonably good condition. She didn't hit her head. We both thought she did because she was babbling incoherently. Or more than usual. What if I leave these here? I can't do this. This one's beyond me. Not tonight. Not in great shape. I don't know how I feel. Negatively, there's like a pit in my stomach. I feel anxious. I was in shock for most of the day. I'm really exhausted from carrying my mother around everywhere. From being screamed at, because anytime she suddenly wakes up and doesn't know where she is, she screams. Which was a bunch of times today. So there's just screaming, and then she would just start talking to nobody. And she would just keep talking and talking and talking and talking, and oh my God, I had no idea anybody could talk so much to nobody about nothing. She's always been kind of a gabby person, but holy Jesus, today she's got talking about her family and her job and what little of it I could understand, and nobody was even in the room except for us, and she was talking as if the nurse was still there. Likely she does not have long left for this world. Which pains me to say, because that's my mother, but it benefits no one to retreat into self-deception. This is the only one I haven't solved. I have to solve this one. I don't have a choice. This is like when Jenny Cat started to deteriorate. It kind of happened all at once near the end. She'd been falling every so often, but then she fell twice in the last 3 days, and this was the third time she fell. It's not a happy topic. Sorry to be such a downer. I know it's not what normally you would like to hear about, I don't think. So this one first, and then the other one. I think I might have it this time. Alright. That ought to do it. But I can't get through here is the problem. That's a fucking problem. What if I do it the other way around? It is. Especially because she's extremely senile now. So, when she needs to follow instructions, because she's been socialized always to go along with everything, to be agreeable, she'll say yes if we ask her to do something, and then she won't do it. Or she'll say yes if we ask if she understands something when she doesn't understand it. So, the whole time after she had her IV put in her arm, and the clip put on her finger that measures her heartbeat, she was trying to take them off, and we had to say, stop that. And so she would stop for about 10 to 15 seconds and forget we said anything, and resume trying to take them off, and we'd say, stop that. And she would stop for another 10 to 15 seconds and then forget about it again. So she would just constantly forget about things. We'd tell her to roll over on her back, and she wouldn't do it. She would say yes, and then she would not do it. She was comfortable on her side, but then she'd complain about the pain on her side because her side hurt, and she was sleeping on her side. But we said, don't sleep on your side, sleep on your back. And she said, okay, and then she didn't do it. How did I do this last time? I don't know how I feel about it. I think I'm in shock, because this is the sort of thing where I'm going to feel it all at once later. This gets me here. But then it doesn't get me through this gate. You know, I can't do this. It's one way or the other. I can't solve this. It's beyond me. I gotta go back. Which eventually I'm gonna have to come back here and solve it anyway, so there's no point in quitting. Because we also can't seem to progress without it. No use beating my head against the wall, though. I'm also not in the best mental shape right now. Thinking about a million different things. We all have to deal with this eventually. It's not as if it's unique to me. It doesn't make you feel any better. Where was... Oh, there it is. I wish this game had a seated mode. Also, a lot of people who don't know me putting words in my mouth today, trying to guess what I'm going to say, and that drives me crazy. Because they're always wrong, and they're always frustrated and incredulous that they're wrong, because they're using their theory of mind, which is trained on autistic people. And it always gives them wrong answers for autistic people, but they don't know that. If they'd just be quiet and wait for me to finish my fucking sentences, then I could communicate. Also, it seems like a big impediment to smooth, streamlined communication is the lack of a verbal period, a verbal indication that your sentence is over. Because oftentimes I feel the reason I get interrupted is because people don't know how long I'm planning to talk for. It could be 10 seconds, it could be a minute. And if they think it's going to go on a lot longer than it is, which is very frequently what happens, they interrupt me right near the end of what I'm about to say, and I'm about to put a qualifier at the end of the sentence that totally changes its meaning. So the fact that they didn't hear that guarantees misunderstanding. But if they had known I was about to be finished, they wouldn't have done it. But there's like a progress meter above everybody's head. It shows how far along in their sentence they are. That would solve that. I picked a really bad time to buy an Atari, the VCS 2021. I got it in part because I wanted something to do with my dad. I wanted something to play with that would let him install Linux on it, and then because his number one hobby is just fucking around with Linux. He's got 1,000 different computers strewn about the house, all running different versions of Linux. He just loves playing with Linux. He loves putting Linux on things and then configuring it. That's what he does with his free time. This is yet another thing he can put Linux on that is at the intersection of his interests and my interests. It's a game box. It's Atari, so I'm interested in it. But it has a PC mode with Linux that he can install, which is up his alley. I'm hoping, especially as my mother's health deteriorates, that I can use this as a pretext to spend time with him and talk about feelings. And I told him on the way out of the hospital that I know he was raised in a generation that was socialized for men not to talk about our feelings, but I was. And that I'm not very good at it because he's the one who socialized me, but if he needs to talk about his feelings, he should do it. Now's the time to do it, and I'm the person to do it with. So I don't know what else to do. I feel like I've checked all the boxes. There's nothing really that prepares you. You can't really... Making preparations is pointless. Feelings don't obey rules. At times like this, I wish I had religion to comfort me, but in the absence of a religion I could believe in, I invented a better one that I can believe in. I don't know how well it's working, though. It assumes that eventually humans or AI created by humans will invent a method for forensically reconstructing past states of matter, including human beings that lived throughout history, thus obtaining the information they would need to molecularly print a new copy of them, which is bringing back a version of you. A version of you gets to live again. Scenario B assumes simulationism. In the event that simulationism is true, there's somewhere in the simulation backend where a record is being kept of what every atom does between Big Bang and heat death, which means all the information necessary to reconstitute a person already exists and is in storage someplace. And it would really be us in that case, because if we're already data, then they wouldn't even need to move the data wherever it's stored. They'd simply need to instance it in a different place and time, in which case it's every bit as much you as you are now. And there's a million arguments I've made for why it would be economical in terms of computational power to create an idealized garden of paradise, because it doesn't need to be convincing. You don't need to render an entire universe, because you're no longer trying to fool the people inside of it into thinking it's real to gather data. So it's actually a drop in the bucket to simulate even every intelligent being ever to live inside of such an environment, because you're not simulating random asteroids colliding trillions of miles away on top of the relatively small percentage of the matter in the universe that you're actually interested in, which is intelligent life. So that assumes that whoever runs the simulation, if it is a simulation, is not a sociopath. If they are, then we're all fucked anyway. If they're psychopaths, then they might bring us back just to torture us. So it relies on a lot of contingent assumptions, which is not very comforting. I wish I had more to go on. We might reasonably conclude, based on game theory, that over long enough timescales, pro-social organizations and movements and governments and countries are victorious over antisocial ones, antisocial ideologies as well. So we might reasonably conclude from this that it's more likely than not that whoever runs the simulation is pro-social, and if they're products of evolution, then they have the same fear of death that we do, and thus, possessing both empathy and a fear of death, they would assume that we also fear death correctly, and they might wish to give us a second chance to live, being that pretty much every person ever to live has desired that, and everyone who's ever lost someone has desired the power to bring them back. So they would have the means, the motive, and the opportunity, and it wouldn't cost them very much. Those are the points in favor. The means being the technology necessary, the motive being that they fear death and they possess empathy. The opportunity being that it wouldn't cost, once the simulation is done, they don't need us anymore. They don't need the universe anymore. But if they possess empathy, they might scoop everybody up from even including historical records, everybody ever to live, and plop them down in something resembling ideal substrate. And also, generally speaking, even if we're not in a simulation and you have to reconstitute people the hard way by simulating the universe and then scrubbing backwards through the timeline to get to the time when someone lived to get their atomic configuration, you wouldn't necessarily reconstitute them materially either, because if you reconstitute them materially, they just grow old and die again if you don't have the means to stop that. Also, they're vulnerable to violent death. So you might reconstitute them in a simulated form anyhow, just so that you can perpetuate their life. There's a lot of different questions. This all would have seemed like pure copium before AI started popping off. When there's these big surges in technology, people are reminded that, oh yeah, this isn't just something that happens in Star Trek. Progress really does happen. It just happens way the fuck slower than anyone wants it to. Because the hard work of figuring out the math involved actually has to be done by somebody. And those people have to be paid. Unless you're rich. If you're rich, you get the future ahead of schedule. As an example of this, there were HD CRT televisions available as early as the mid 1990s, and there were HD laserdisc films that were not 1080i, but 1035i, as of 1994. So if you were just a ridiculously obscenely rich person, you could buy either an HD rear projection TV or HD CRT television that was widescreen for playing HD theatrical cuts of films on Laserdisc, which was also back-breakingly expensive, depending on which player you bought, because they didn't all support that. So we all eventually receive future technology, just not at the same time. But if you're wealthy, you get a sneak preview. Then again, that's a waste of money, because again, Laserdisc isn't what became predominant. I was just watching a Linus tech tips on that, but how it's still technically superior to DVD because it doesn't have color banding. Somewhere there's a guy who, a rich guy who snorted cocaine in the 80s and did Wall Street type stuff, who's still sitting on a huge collection of Laserdiscs and still feels smug about it. He's like, it still hasn't been surpassed, baby. Laserdisc. Yeah, that's where it's at. Laserdisc. I knew someone too. His name was Josh. He lived in a mansion by the river, and I went to a graduation party in his house. He was wealthy because his father was an evangelical Christian, and he was part of a network of evangelical Christians who practiced religious nepotism and preferentially hired people of their own faith, which is why they always suspect Jews of doing that, because that's what they do, and they figure that's what everyone does. What is this? I don't have this yet. Like, how dare you, perhaps, could possibly be doing what we've been doing for hundreds of years. That's for us to do. That's our killer strat. You can't use it too. So yeah, he knew the owner of a Christian plumbing company, who knew the owner of a Christian electricians guild or some shit, who knew the Christian mason. Which sounds like a pretty cozy arrangement for people helping one another succeed in life if it wasn't organized around an exclusionary faith. If anybody could get in on it, of course that would defeat the purpose. It's a good question. Dog has it figured out. Dog kind of sounds Fedora-ish though. Not gonna lie. I still need a power up I don't have yet. Yep. Should I be the only person in the world streaming Atari games? Would that be funny, or a gimmick that would lose me viewers? I'm really tempted to hook it up through the streamer box and stream Atari games. I kind of grew up like that because my dad's an engineer. So I did, but then again, he also lived really frugally. That's how he is still doing pretty well at this old age. He saved pennies. We never had the best of everything. We had like the mid-range of everything. Lived in a really average home for much of my youth. We had some nice things, like he bought a boat and then never used it and then got rid of it. He bought an RV which we used a couple times and then it broke down and we got rid of it. Everybody thought we were poor because he was so frugal. And also because he drove me to work, to school in the RV, and everyone thought we lived in it. And he would dress me in clothes from Goodwill because they were cheap. And they were moth-eaten, there were holes in them. And he didn't care what it looked like because he was one of those parents where he's like, kids are kids, they're stupid, they don't need expensive anything, they don't know the difference. Kids know the difference, kids are very superficial. It really matters what clothes they wear in terms of their social opportunities. And also how their hair is cut. And how he cut my hair was to put a bowl on my head and then cut around the rim. Or to use the vacuum cleaner Flowbee thing. So I often had terrible, terrible haircuts. I was dressed like a homeless person. And everyone thought I lived in an RV. Also because he wouldn't buy ponchos because he thought it was a life hack to use trash bags. These are all lovable qualities, though, as an adult. The more I talk about it, the funnier it sounds. If I think about childhood me as a different version, and not the me that was suffering through all of that. Yeah, yeah, we had similar fathers, but mine sounds like he was more restrained than yours. Yours seems to have gotten a little unhinged towards the end. Mine's still mostly mostly benign. He was very loud and shouty, and he did spank me sometimes and do other stuff, but he never struck me like with a fist or an open hand. And most of the time he was trying to do his best by me. Maybe I have Stockholm Syndrome, I don't know. Do I not have the thing I need for this? I was a difficult kid. I was undiagnosed Asperger's, so... Yeah, I don't have the thing I need for this. I can't do any of these without that thing. That's only the second world. If I can't get any of these without that item, I just can't continue, basically. I need to find out where the Tetris piece I need is. I've been doing a lot of thinking about what I'm living for. And don't worry, I'm not suicidal any more than usual. I have those thoughts, but I'm just very stubborn. I'm just a very stubborn, self-directed person. So it's like when I'm on acid, and the acid is like, become a hippie. I'm like, no. It's like, eat fruit. Eat a fruit-heavy diet. I'm like, no. It's like, become like Steve Jobs. Use alternative medicine. I'm like, no. It's like, go live in a commune. I'm like, no. It's like, let go of the control you're exerting over this experience. Lose control and let it change you. And I'm like, no. I won't do that. I'm the same way with my inner demons. My inner demons are like, hey, kill yourself. I'm like, no. I'm like, come on. Just do it. I'm like, no. I'm like, there's nothing to live for. I'm like, I know, but I'm not doing it. I'm just stubborn. Stubbornness turns out to be a very good quality for either surviving intrusive thoughts or resisting the efforts of psychedelics to make you into a hippie. I just say no to everything. I just say no, and I keep on chugging no matter what. You always hear guys who live to be 90 credit their stubbornness. They have to say goofy shit also, like it's because I ate a raw egg and smoked a cigar every day, which is not why. But it's stubborn. There's something to stubbornness. It gives you higher blood pressure, but it also gives you it's very strong willpower. And if I didn't have that strong willpower, I don't know where I'd be right now. That's my ham dad tip of the day. If you're just very, very fucking stubborn, you can will yourself alive. You can stop demons from harming you. Just being like, no, I'm not going to do it. Go tell your satanic master that his face is gay. And stop sending demons to me. Because I'm just going to fucking BTFO them. Demons have no power over me because I'm worse than they are. I torment my demons. I'll still be alive when the fucking cockroaches are dead. Because there are people who depend upon me. Who love me, and I'm a source of strength for them just as they are for me. And that's a job that I need to keep doing. This is so beautiful. And so is this water. I want to dip my balls in it. I'm not going to be the weak link in the chain, you know what I mean? I'm not going to be the part that fails in the machine. And that's just all there is to it, simple as. I gotta be here for my dad. I gotta be here for my good friend Josh, who lost his wife not too long ago because she slipped in the bathroom and hit her head and died of cranial bleeding in the hospital a few hours later. Probably this is a good opportunity for some trauma bonding. A strong person can be very useful to people in his life or her life who are also suffering, but maybe aren't as stubborn. I'm extremely stubborn. I'm an autistic man. I have the same power that allowed Olalilia to work on the same game for 12 years and to max out all his Disgaea characters and to find every glitch in Bubsy the Bobcat. Just imagine, that's the inhuman levels of stubbornness required to play Bubsy the Bobcat for that many years. That's why it'll be us who beat the machines at their own game.
I look at this inert shape and I wonder who you're going to be. Will you hold the same values as we do? Will you love us for having created you? Will you resent us for having put you into an uncertain and dangerous world? Looking back at our history, our achievements, our crimes, what will you make of us? Will the world you create be like ours or so different that we can't even imagine it? Either way, I hope that you'll find this little blue planet to be as beautiful as we did. I hope you'll take care of it a lot better than we did. And I hope one day you'll look up and reach for the stars.
Why would robots need to take care of the biosphere? The industrial logistics and infrastructure needed to create the robots in the first place is what ruined the fucking environment. Why wouldn't a purely robotic society be even worse environmentally if you consider all the poisonous elements necessary to make a robot? Boy, am I glad to have VR right now. I really needed to not be in reality. I really needed to not be looking at my dark and moldy room and thinking about mortality and memories of my family, and about the fact that I'm like about to not have either a mother or a sister, and I'm gonna be all that's left for my dad to hold on to. He's too proud and too stoic to reach out for support also, so I have to be proactive. I have to be a product of a new generation that's more emotionally intelligent, even though that's what I'm weakest at. I have to act mentally, academically understand that he has needs that he's not going to seek out any fulfillment of. And I have to be the one who goes to him in this time of need. Because he's not going to come to me. He's not going to look to anybody for help. Because he's where I get my stubbornness from. But I would like to think I'm a little bit less stubborn than he was. In a good way. It would be the easiest thing in the world just to disappear down here. Just to put the headset on and never take it off again. And just live in denial of what's happening. That's the danger of technologies like this, especially when it gets to full dive. Imagine someone in my situation who just can't come to grips with it and just puts the plug in the back of their head and then wastes away because they can't feel themselves getting hungry, or it'd be the easiest and most merciful means of self-deletion. It's just go in and never come out. Just stay there until your consciousness stops working, because your body is wasted away. Look at Steam controller. Fuck my ass if that's not a Steam controller.
God, there's no time. Just not enough time. We're trying to build the future out of old video game code and half-finished research projects. We should have had years, maybe decades. With the kind of money they used to put into building bombs. If I stop and think about how crazy this is, I will have a nervous breakdown. So I won't. Yeah, okay. Back to work, Alex.
Hey, this one doesn't require that item. But this is number 7. Why would the later ones not require the items? You know, I'm asking too many questions. If this will get me the piece that I need, that's what I should be looking at. Not whether it uses the items, but whether... None of these are the item I need. Good to know, though. Number 7 does not require the platform. What I need is the squiggly piece, the S piece. Yeah, no kidding. She wouldn't wear it, though. The problem is that if she doesn't recognize something and she's not familiar with it, she takes it off. I bought her a heated jacket, and she wore it until the batteries ran out, and then she stopped wearing it because she told me it was broken. I told her it's not broken, you have to charge the battery. She says, oh, okay, I'll do it, and then she didn't do it because she forgot. I bought her a heated thermos for her tea. She used it until the battery ran out, and then she said it's broken. I said, it's not broken, the battery ran out, you have to charge it. I don't understand why she doesn't understand that, because she charges her phone. Then again, we got a wireless charger for her, so all she has to do is set it down in the same place every time. Maybe that's the key.
This is all ego, isn't it? Recording these random thoughts, these letters to the future. Just a desperate grab for immortality. But you should know, yes, this was my idea, my project. But so many people helped. People I don't even know. People I haven't even met who can do things I don't even begin to understand. That if we succeeded, if someone's listening to this, I really can't take credit for it. What we achieved together. And if we fail, well, it doesn't matter.
Oh. That can't be right. This doesn't use anything? What a blast from the past. This is just like the first couple puzzles. Oh, I know this game. You have to open it from the other side so you can take the other one with you. As expected. You fuckers. The tricky thing is, whenever you relieve your mortal anxiety or fear of loss of a loved one using rationalization, there's no way to know if it's true or if you've only barely managed to construct something that you can't tell is false. It only works if you can believe it, and maybe each man's binky that he holds on to for existential security is just sophisticated enough to fool him and no one else. I can't tell. I honestly can't tell. I guess that's the purpose of it. If I could tell, it wouldn't be any good. I also can't tell if my will to live is actual strength or cowardice, how do you tell the difference between those two things? You know what I mean? What if it's just fear of death, not will to live? These are the questions you ask yourself as the end approaches for you or someone you love. They're haunting. If you could tell when you were fooling yourself, nobody would do it. I can't tell if I'm fooling myself, and I can't tell if I'm actually strong or just a coward. It's funny how similar the two can seem, despite being opposites. Okay, now I can finally get that item I don't have. Oh no, it has to point the other way. Fuck! Oh, you're fucking kidding me. You gotta be shitting. Really? Come on. This has the one I need. If I recall, I can't open it. This is the one. If it needs a platform, I can't do it. It does, and I can't do it. That's a catch-22. I need this piece to unlock the tool to solve this puzzle that I get from... How does that work? May as well just go where there are puzzles I can solve. Hope my mother's doing well. I don't know if you heard Strategift. She fell down the stairs last night. We found her this morning. We both slept through it, so she was just stuck there for several hours, getting dehydrated. She's not doing great.
When the scale of it all overwhelms me, this is what I tell myself. We can calculate the age of the Earth, the size of the universe, the future of the stars. Sure, we are minuscule, momentary flashes of thought on a grain of sand drifting through the cosmos. But our minds can recreate the past and predict the future. On, say, Friday, 1,000,000 years from now, we'll all be dead. But right now, we know what the night sky will look like on that day. And So, in a way, we're not entirely bound by time. Knowledge is a kind of freedom.
Huh. I'd like to smoke weed with this chick. I thought I usually do that. Aha, okay. That's what that does. Okay. Seems important to know that. I'm doing another philosophy video. I hope that's not a disappointment. Anything broken? No, thank God. She didn't hit her head, which is very confusing because she's completely incoherent now. She babbles and nobody understands her. But there's no sign of any head injury. So it might just be related to her UTI, which is what they diagnosed her with. And also minor signs of some other unknown illness. But she didn't break any bones. She didn't hit her head, which were our two biggest fears. Because at her age, if she falls and breaks her bones or hits her head, that's probably it. Oh fuck, I didn't do it long enough. It was kind of alarming. She didn't. And then she also said she couldn't see very well and didn't know where she was. Or she not. She didn't say she doesn't know where she was. We asked her and she answered incorrectly. When she was on the stairs, she thought she was on the bed, and when she was in the hospital, she didn't know what happened or where we'd taken her. Oh no, it doesn't reach over here. I've got the right idea. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. If I'm up here, I could do it. Okay, but what if I do that, but with this? No, it doesn't work. Fuck. Yeah, no, actually, her insurance is covering her hospital stay. And we also didn't use an ambulance to get her there, which is difficult because she screams every time we pick her up, which made us think she definitely broke something, but she didn't break anything. She just gets scared whenever someone tries to pick her up. And she says, I can't do it, I can't do it. When she falls down and you try to pick her up, she just screams and screams and screams. It's hard to say why. She really hardcore does not believe in herself. I can't figure this one out right now. I'm going to go to a different one. It's been something I've been trying to deprogram her from, but she's too old. She's still in denial that she's old. She says, oh, I'm not old, when asked. It's like fat logic, where they consider fat to be relative, and if there's anyone fatter than they are, then they're not fat. It's really frustrating. It makes everything more difficult than it needs to be. These ones are tough. What time is it even? 21:16. What the fuck does that mean? 9:16. Okay. I can't figure out how to get my watch off of European time. Or military time, if you prefer. Are there no easy ones? Come on, throw me a bone. getting into the real brain busters. Also, the bugs are back. The fleas. So I'm going to have to bug bomb the room again. I don't know where they keep coming from. I think the cat keeps bringing them in from outside. I sprayed the carpet. I sprayed the area outside the room. They just keep coming back and coming back. The bug bombs killed them all, but not forever. It's getting to be winter, too. And in winter, all the bugs try to come inside to get warm. Poor little buggos. Little fellas. How did my life turn into this? Covered in fucking fleas with a Valve Index. Oh yeah, childlike priorities. Does that work? That doesn't work. What's the point of that window then? What am I trying to do here? It's like, why did I buy a probably already failed console instead of accumulating savings? I'll have savings. I just have to ruin my body. I googled it, and there's 5 separate plasma companies in my area that I can drive to. They all have first-time bonuses of between $300 and $500. I calculated that the total I can make from all of them together is $1,150. So I'm gonna do that. But I'm gonna space it out. So I'm gonna do each of those spaced apart by a month, at least, so I don't fuck up my body too badly. I'm gonna have at least $1,000 in savings, and I'm gonna leave it there and not touch it, because I can only do this once. My inspiration came from watching somebody doing fentanyl on the street corner and thinking, where the fuck do they get money for drugs? And looking into it and realizing that they, in fact, sell cum and plasma. And I thought, what if I do what they do, but without the money pit of an addiction? Would that work? I would just be able to stack the Benjamins and not smoke it away. I did put liquid stuff on Kitty's neck. Yes, I did. She seems to be fine. I don't know how. She also has a special collar. Anti-tick collar. Flick? What the fuck am I saying? That didn't work. How's that meant to work? I have all the problems of a lol cow, but without the same size following. I suppose I should be thankful for that. How the fuck do you do this? Maybe from a great height? Oh, I jump on top of it. I did not mean to do that. It doesn't work. Imagine dying the first time in the simulation and not knowing you'll respawn. You shit your fucking robot pants. With solid tungsten turds. Terror turds. Aha, that did it. I think I know it. I think I got it. I think I know what they want me to do here. They want me to put a box on top of that orb and then a repeater on top of the box. It's gotta be it. Won't let me. Really? I can't? What is happening? I've got this. There we go. But now what? Oh, we got this one too. Nothing out here. If I put 2 boxes on there, will I be able to jump up to it? Didn't work. I somehow have to get the laser from one to the other. Fuck, it didn't work once again. Yeah, I look back on charity stuff I've done in the past, now that I don't have enough money to live, and I don't regret it. I'm still happy I did that stuff. It feels like I enriched my soul. If I'd known what I knew about now about how the homeless problem was going to go, I probably wouldn't have done it. But I was an innocent lad then. I was bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. I didn't know no better. I mean, the thought was what counted. How do I do it? Haha, bitches. Hamdad triumphs once again. Wasn't as clean and neat as it could have been, but it worked. Looking back, I put an embarrassing amount of priorities on just having a fast computer and technology when I should have been saving up for a house and putting down a down payment. And I could probably afford a mortgage. I know people whose mortgages as low as $400 a month. If I had the down payment and had a mortgage like that and it was fixed, I could be in a house right now. If I had spent my money more wisely back when crypto was booming instead of just buying a car and an e-bike and a fast computer and virtual reality. VR was not the solution to my problems. It was a way to avoid acknowledging my problems. I want to feel positively about it. I'm still happy I have it. More houses with cheese. First immortal frogs. Let's go. You're a hippie, I get it. This thing is madness. Fuck yeah, LAN party! 2 days from now, we're all getting together in the old school library. Music, drink, noms, drinks, music, and old school gaming. Especially if they're hot. Ain't nobody gonna be hot at a LAN party. Love, love. That's not the point of it. Actually work. So clear as hell. Just surface stuff when random usernames. These are priorities. And yeah. This is basically the Soma plot of Soma, kind of. Except it's humans instead of the WoW. Choose those principles. Like that person. That's true. That the worst pain I've ever been in was when I needed a root canal and didn't know it yet. When the nerve was dying in my tooth. That's when I was given codeine. I could have gotten addicted on opioids. I don't know, opioids? I don't know how to pronounce that. That's how it happens. So they give you pain relief drugs and you're like, hey, that was actually really nice. Not me, I like a little bit of pain. That's why I'm always fucking eating hot sauce. But holy shit, it was blinding pain. I was just screaming and all I could do was just scream and scream and scream and scream and scream. And then catch my breath and then drink water so my voice wasn't so hoarse and then continue screaming. Hey you. That's Japes. What did I tell you about Japes? This has been... Have I really escaped it though? I mean, I've got goggles on my face that is distracting me from emotional pain. It's just a more expensive version of the same thing that you buy once and then get to continue using. I'm not better. I'm just wiser about choosing what escapes will not destroy me. I'm really liking the video I'm making. If you've read the article I wrote called the first person shooter worldview, about how you can't consume anything without it transforming you, and about the importance of gentleness and being mindful about what you surround yourself with, then you already know what the video is going to be. If you haven't, then it will be new to you. I'm using newer AI to generate images this time. I'm using Bing.ai, which is part of what's slowing me down is that they throttle you if you generate too many, and then your tokens regenerate slowly. This looks identical. How's this different? Didn't I already solve this? I can't really put my head in the game tonight, though. I'm worried about my mother. And yet, the more I worry about her, the more foolish I feel for worrying about her. It's only increasing the pain I'm going to feel when she inevitably doesn't come home from the hospital one of these times. But at the same time, it feels heartless and to just disable that part of my brain because I've given up on her already. If I'm going to do that, then why live? Why care about anybody? Because everything's temporary, right? I guess some people really go down that road and they renounce their humanity. I'm not that far gone yet. I like to keep a shred of soft, red, quivering tissue alive in my soul, if I have such a thing. Oh, there's another one up here. A lot of these are just like the monkey jar puzzle. You know what I'm talking about? Where they put up a orange in a jar, and you can't if you put your hand in the jar and try to grab the orange, then your hand becomes too big to pull out of the jar. But in order to get the thing you want, you have to they won't fucking let go of it though. Because once they have it in their hand, their instincts tell them just hold on to it. Whatever the solution is, going backwards it can't be going forwards. And letting go of the orange once you have it is a step backwards. Never occurs to them to turn it over and just shake the jar to get the orange out. That's apparently the difference between humans and other apes. We do crazy things like delay gratification. And a lot of these puzzles are like that. But being willing to abandon apparent progress in the recognition that it's not getting where you need to be. What the fuck is up here? Why would they put that there? Do I even need this? I don't think I need this one. Alright. Have to knock it into there somehow. What if this? What if there's a fan up there, basically? I can't see it from this angle. Can I remove that fan? No, I can't. It won't let me. Oh yeah, alright. I do indeed need to turn this fan on. But then how do I get the repeater over here? Oh, I know. No, wait, no I don't. I can imagine how to get one of these over there. I can imagine how to get this over there. There we go. I think I got it. What do I do this? Oh no, I can't. Oh, but wait a minute. What if I what if I put this here? This here. Can I reach down and grab that? I should better restart again. I can feel my brain melting. It's not what it once was. I don't cough as much anymore. The air quality's improved, which I owe to you guys. I owe so much to you guys I don't even know how to begin repaying it. Sometimes I think that the hamster isn't really about the hamsters or the habitats, though. It's what attracted people is wanting to find out what sort of person would do such a thing, and wanting to pick his brain. In the same way that Olilia's channel was never really about Platform Masters or Bubsy 3D. It was people wanting to get to know him because it was a bizarre website. In which case, I'm only too happy to oblige. Crack my knuckles. I hope so, because that's the only thing I have an endless free supply of. Is strangeness. So, basically the question is, what if I do this? Already been here. Last time I managed to get a block up here. The question is how the fuck to get a... blue laser. I don't see any possible way to get a blue laser where it needs to go. You think there's like one truly impossible puzzle in here just to stress people out? They wouldn't do that, would they? No, they wouldn't do that. Let me think. Thinking. There's no way around this. I have to put this where it is. That I know of. You know, as much as I have to scorn right now in my life, I'm in a way better spot than I was in like 2013, where I was just penniless. I had no car, I had no bike, I had nothing except my lovely little gray cat. It's funny how much I would give away everything I had now if I just have that gray cat back. But I had nothing, and I had no prospects, and I had no future, and I had no accomplishments. I'd begun writing in 2012, so I had some initial stories, and I basically just started doing Hampshire, or even years before that in 2010, for something to do, because I had nothing going for me, and I just looked around at what I had where I was and was like, what can I do with this? Because I have to do something, because I'm going crazy. I need to accomplish something. I need to build something so I can look at it and say I'm making progress. Can I shoot backwards? No, it can't. I guess I don't understand why. What if I... do this? Will this give me a vantage point from which I can use the blue one? No, it won't. Oh, you know what, actually? Oh, no, but I can't get through there now. What if... Ooh, baby, what if... That looks promising, actually. What if I don't need to knock one off the top? What if I can just shoot one in there? That's not what I thought it was. I think I've got an inkling. I'm onto something. I don't know what it is yet. Yeah, that'll do it. If that works how I think it works, but that's a big if. The game has beautiful textures. There we go. So now all I need to do is put this over here. And this should shoot through that gap. If my hunch is right. Yep. Sure the fuck enough. Sure enough. I have a new rule. The most likely solution is the dumbest thing I can think of. Wow, that's a lot of corruption. Holy shit. Well, you know, if you see one cockroach, probably there's 1,000 of them under your fridge. Living it up with a little cockroach casino. Cockroach brothel. You know, when I was a kid, I heard the word moach. I heard the phrase roach motel, and I pictured like a little actual hotel made out of a shoebox, and it was cute. The way I imagined it, it was cute. They had little like top hats on and little coats and suitcases. They stopped by the motel on the way to business meetings. Lighting is so pretty in this game. What a great advertisement for their engine. Oh, so it's like that, is it? You know, we haven't started that VR Zelda yet. I guess we're gonna have to do that one after this is done. Keep forgetting I have that. I have no idea if this is right or not. We're gonna do this. Oh no, I see. We've got to use this one over here. Well, now I'm confused again. That ought to do it if I'm right. Oh no, I fucked it up. Shit. So stand on there as the copy. Then when it restarts, run and grab that. Go around the corner. Target it at the right thing. And come and put it back on here. And then run back through the force field area. Grab this. He's gonna stay there for 1 minute. No, 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 no. Fuck. I fucked it up. This one. That one. This one. Do not move. Do not move from that spot. I've solved it now, though. As long as I allowed for enough time for myself to run to this piece. Do not close. Thank God. I figured it out. It was much simpler than I thought. Samsara was mistaken. He thought that reincarnation meant his efforts were futile, and that he was mistaken about that. That's all of them. Shit, yeah, baby. Damn, yeah. Except for that one. There's one I didn't solve yet. I want to go see if I have enough pieces for the missing item yet, though. Still missing that piece. Left facing S piece. Shit. I just can't get that one piece. Oh yeah, there's a men's support group I'm meeting nearby next month. I'm thinking of going. It's for Psychonauts. And Psychonauts men's support group sounds like just exactly what I need. I could really benefit from that. From socializing in person, I think, with people who are like-minded. It's in a church though. But the thing is it's not really a church anymore. Nobody uses it as one. It's a historic church that was converted into a coffee shop and public meeting place, which is, I think, the fate of most churches, unfortunately, because it doesn't serve the same purpose churches served. And that sounds weird coming from a fedora tipping type of person, but churches are fucking killer when they're functioning as intended. If you trust your kid alone with a priest, it's one of the only ways you can afford having a kid, is that churches provide free or greatly discounted childcare. Because they get access to your kid's brain. If you don't mind that, it's a fucking awesome perk that's unbeatable. We don't really have an equivalent. And we also live in a low trust society now where that would never work. Because you're basically saying, okay, listen, old man, you can diddle them a little bit, but don't go overboard. As long as I don't have to pay $1,200 a month for childcare. This is something, though. I feel Rome wasn't built in a day, and it took 1,900 years to build the church as we know it now. So building a functional equivalent that's not based on something that people believe really strongly in, enough to serve as a motivating force for social good and organization. It's not going to be an easy problem to crack. It's going to be built up in layers like the one before it was, until we all have a unifying narrative. We used to have a unifying narrative. We overcame racial animus in part because at least everybody was Christian, right? And we could believe that the other person we're talking to has humbled themselves before a greater power and aligns themselves morally in a way similar to us and shares our values because they went through the same religious rituals and processes meant to signify they accept that moral alignment and that they have had the same deep personal emotional experiences we've had. That doesn't apply anymore. That's not everybody, and that's the sort of thing where if you haven't had their exact experiences, they look at you like you're not human. Even though I have, and I just had them through mushrooms. They don't trust that. They need to be able to trust you. They need to be able to share some kind of emotionally intimate overlap with their neighbor in order to care about what happens to their neighbor. And once that's shattered, it's tedious and expensive to rebuild. And if everybody is a different race and a different religion and a different politics, then you just don't have any social cohesion, and you have all the problems that comes with that. There's got to be at least one binding thread that where, if nothing else, everybody has to live in the same reality. That's a problem if they don't. I think we're getting back to there again, where everyone mostly can trust that the person they're talking to is not insane. They can mostly trust that they have the same understanding of what's real. Because you can't really humanize someone who doesn't believe in the same reality as you. You'll always look at them as kind of a dingbat. Yes, I did. I fucking warned them. I remember this one girl I was trying to get with had huge fucking jugs. Beautiful, shapely jugs. And a nice butt, too. And nice thighs. A brunette. Pouty lips, the whole shebang. But she was hopelessly social justice tarded. I could have just lied to her and probably gotten in her panties. But I can't make myself lie for any length of time. I hate it. So I tried to talk her out of it and explain that the two things that she liked, which were Islam and critical theory, and the values it espouses, such as feminism and egalitarianism, were at odds with each other. And she was like, she just would just recoil and refuse to think about that, and just tell me to where I could stick it. Then again, you know, she was figuring herself out, and presumably by now she understands I was right the entire time. Still, I missed out. I've missed out on so much quality fucking puss in my life, it's embarrassing. I remember turning down this really cute Mexican chick from GameStop. Isn't that every Spurg nerd's fantasy, is to bed the chick from GameStop? She was thirsty. I was really suspicious. Never in my life has a chick come on to me that strongly. So I assumed it was some kind of social experiment or like a hidden camera thing, which is part of why I turned her down. But also she said, "Oh, I can come over right after Bible study." I was like, "Ew, no." And she's like, "Oh, I won't proselytize you." I'm like, "No, ew, gross." And I did that specifically just because I wanted to be hurtful. At that stage of my life, I was still in pain from my experiences at the private school, and I wanted to find people with the same beliefs that I could be emotionally hurtful to as much as possible without going to prison. And she made a handy target, I guess. And I'm sorry if she ever sees this. She never will. That was immature and cruel of me. That was deliberately cruel. I did it with nasty intentions. And I, potentially, if it wasn't like a joke or a hidden camera type of situation, because I'm very skeptical, I cheated myself out of some young love that could have been very nourishing. Not that I wanted particularly for that, but she was willing to overlook our differences, but I wasn't. I really wanted to hurt someone like that. Wherever she is now, I hope she's doing well. That I didn't have a negative impact on her life, and that she doesn't remember me sourly. She doesn't think, "Wow, remember that one asshole where I was gonna fucking jump his bones, but he was like, no, fedora tipping is more important." What a loser. And she would be totally right. What a loser I was. Why did I do that? Why did I do that? Then again, it's also not good to be so thirsty that there's no pussy you'll turn down. It is also really important to be able to say no sometimes. Oh, I know how this works, I think. The mark of a good life is not how much quality sex you've had, although that is a big part of it. I tend to think of it at this stage of my life as more related to how much eudaimonic fulfillment you've gotten. And a lot of that comes, for me, from creating stuff. I want to create good, interesting stuff. That is a cringe memory, though. There were also a couple girls who were just really, I don't know, hypergamous? I don't know what the nice way to say slutty is. And I didn't avail myself of them because I thought they either had diseases or had emotional problems that I didn't want to contribute to. And something happened in their lives that made them incredibly needy and desiring of male affirmation. And they just had a bottomless appetite for it. There's like that one girl in college who slept with absolutely every guy on the floor of the dorm where I lived. And I said no to her because I want to say for altruistic reasons, but that's not really it. It's more that I was on some level concerned that she had issues and she was a damaged person. part of it was also not wanting the sloppy seconds of every other dude on that floor. I can remember and count on 2 hands every time I ever turned down sex with an attractive person, though. And part of me still regrets it, because once your age starts with 3, it becomes exponentially harder. When your age starts with 4, you better fucking forget about it. You better just fucking forget about it forever. Your fucking days are over. Unless you're super good looking or wealthy. If you're wealthy, your appeal actually goes up. And that's apparently science. But it's not because you're more attractive in your old age. It's because women are generally done sleeping around and they see you and they think, alright, here's my ticket to stability. Now that I'm done sowing my wild oats. Which, I mean, fair enough. If that's your priority. I need to get in there somehow. It's always really funny listening to trad people shame women for their body counts when they themselves sleep around or try to. So they're like, they try to pull some rationalization about a skeleton key being valuable because it opens any lock or whatever, or they just say, they pretend as if they object to equally to men sleeping around and say, well, neither one should be doing it, but they don't act that way. They don't act like either one is equally upsetting to them. They really, really act like they care a lot when women sleep around, but not at all when men do it. I guess because traditionally most women didn't. There was a relatively small number of prostitutes who used that to escape poverty. Or just to feed themselves. And they serviced all the men who weren't married yet. Or who were married unhappily. If that's tradition, then they can keep it. I don't want that. I want no part of that. It's not it. I have no idea how to do this one either. We're at the limits of my brain power. Have mercy on my tiny pea brain. That's the ideal, isn't it? I grossly overestimated mine. I thought it was like 30 something. It's like 13 because they both have a 3 in it, and I disgusted this one girl. I was like 30, and she's like, "Oh, gross." And I said, "No, 13." She's like, "Well, no, I'm not going to believe you because you said a higher number first." Don't ever do that. Don't be like me. It's about 13. But if you say 30 first, that's the number she'll remember. And you'll never be able to persuade her it's not. That's the thing about women. They just don't believe you. They lie so much themselves, they think all men lie. It's like the time I was at my girlfriend's house. My first girlfriend starts with J. And she was always trying to catch me doing stuff. That was what her big thrill came from the concept of catching me in wrongdoing and using and holding that over me. So she was always snooping through my computer, snooping through my PDA, trying to catch me in wrongdoing. Which, in retrospect, she was probably cheating, because that's what cheaters do, is they assume that you're cheating also. and she found on the internet history of her family room computer, Tanya Harding celebrity fakes, like porn of Tanya Harding, and she was 100,000% convinced she'd finally caught me in something embarrassing. And I tried to explain to her, I'm not attracted to Tanya Harding. I wouldn't do that. And she's like, well, who could it have been? I'm like, your dad is also male. Your dad is a male. He's a boomer. He probably watches a lot of news. He probably remembers Tanya Harding. This is not... I look at boobs on the internet. There's my admission. But this is not something I would look at. That's not... And it took me like 3 fucking hours and a threat to break up with her before she would begin to consider that perhaps she didn't have me in the perfectly crafted trap that she believed that she did. I should have known then that this was not meant to be. She really wanted me to do something wrong because I guess she had seen it on social media and thought that would feel gratifying to be like a sneaky spy, to be like a Sherlock Holmes, and to be so clever, and to shame her shameful boyfriend who's always doing mean things to her in dreams into being apologetic and begging her for forgiveness as she lords over me. This is what she got pleasure from, is just the concept. It's kind of an unfathomable mindset. But that's where she was mentally. She was always reading magazines for women that were by women who hated men. Like really hated men. And basically the point of the magazines was to poison other women's minds against men, to make life harder for men, so that men couldn't be happy. And it was always full of tests to try on your man. She was always asking me questionnaires out of the magazine to see how I would answer. She was always frustrated with the result and she wouldn't expound on it, so I guess I must have always passed those tests. Like, is it okay for me to have arm hair? Yes, of course it's okay for me to have arm hair. Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. Isn't it gross? No, it's not gross. Wouldn't you rather I be hairless? No, I'd not rather you be hairless. Why do you think I want you to be hairless? Where are you getting these ideas from? It's not important, never mind. So it's like she wanted to be mad at me. So she wanted me to do something wrong, so she had justification to be mad at me. I don't know, man. I don't fucking know, women. And I told you guys about the time she snooped through my PDA, but I knew she was going to do it, so I got out ahead of it, and I wrote like 100 backdated journal entries about how much I love her and how perfect she is. And she was angry with me for doing that. She was smiling, but she was also frustrated for some goddamn reason, some unfathomable reason. Who fucking understands the contents of a woman's heart? She was into a couple different things. One of them was man-hating feminism. Although it's funny, it's like the chicks on Twitter who virtue signal they hate white men, but their boyfriend is always white. They all want a hot white boyfriend, but they also want to hate white men because their father's a white man, and their fathers represent capitalism because their fathers won't give them money if they don't live a certain way. So dad is capitalism, and that makes him the enemy. Because they want dad's money, but they also want to sleep around with guys that dad doesn't approve of. So dad is the patriarchy, and men are awful because dad won't give you your money unconditionally, and men are awful because the hot guy they slept with from the club isn't answering their calls or texts. And they're gonna take that out on all men. That kind of chick. She was just. She was lovely in some ways. She could be very sweet and very supportive, but at the same time, she was also very paranoid that I was gonna lie to her or betray her in some way, and she was very confused when I didn't do that. Oh, I forgot I had this one. Man, what the fuck? So I've got this one. I need to open the blue one. I don't know. I just don't know. It's just constant fucking mind games. Mind games, mind games, mind games. I guess when you have high emotional intelligence, you want to use it on everybody. And just be emotionally savvy and get gains from that somehow. How do I open this? Oh, I see. She was just very sneaky and always suspicious. Always suspicious. Also, I was her I want to be a good girl again boyfriend, where based on her telling she had done a lot of things she regretted and slept around with a lot of guys. And she wanted it to be special again, so and unlike all those other guys before me, I had to wait 3 months before she'd sleep with me, because she wanted to like reset her body count, and she thought that by making me wait, she would be a good girl again. So, I mean, being that she was my first girlfriend, I was like, all right, boobs are boobs. I'll put up with a lot. I'll put up with a lot from you. I don't know what to blame that on. If her past experiences traumatizing her, or if she was just not socialized well, or just not a particularly mature person from the get-go. Also, one of the most attractive girls I ever dated was a product of a physically abusive home where her sister beat her. And I never knew what to do for her. She was just never all the way there. She would just stare off into the distance. And I thought maybe the solution is just love this person a lot and it will help somehow. It didn't help. Nothing I did helped. Nothing I did made a difference. Nothing I did help that person. I confronted her sister about it, but she was completely nonchalant. Like it wasn't a big deal. Then there was Laura, who had a bunch of stuff in her past, which I don't want to talk about because she's gone now. In large part because of that stuff that happened. And it's a recurring theme that I can't do anything for people because I have low EQ. So I don't know how to be their therapist. I don't know how to comfort them. I don't know how to do any of the stuff they really need. I'm not the guy they need to be with. They need to be like a psychologist or something. Well, that sounds actually really exciting, honestly. That sounds like exactly what I would put up with. A painfully hot, high-earning Latina? Yes, please. Beat me, mommy. I just feel bad because life keeps sending people my way that I'm completely ill-equipped to deal with in a constructive way. I would like to be a positive influence on the lives of people who involve themselves with me. I don't think I make it worse, but I also don't make it better. I'm not really useful to them in the way that I want to be, and that is also why I got dumped from my last relationship this year, I believe, with Sandra, because she needed someone to comfort her during panic attacks, and I don't fucking know how to do that. I don't really know how to comfort myself either. I just kind of suffered until I didn't need comfort. My answer was just to never cope and eventually not need coping anymore. And if you're wondering, doesn't that emotionally mangle you? Yes, it does. But if once you're mangled enough, it kind of stops being a problem. Because there's nothing more in you to destroy. You see what I'm saying? You'll never hear that in a self-help book. Just fucking give in to your trauma until it doesn't have anything more to do to you. And whatever's left will be the part you get to keep. That's what you get when you're socialized by a father who's also low EQ. It's like trying to teach colors to a colorblind person. It's not real. Like emotional trauma isn't real because I can't understand it. And I suppress it so everyone else can too. And it turns out there's kind of some truth to that. See, what's my plan here? It does that, okay. That's a source of major regrets for me. I'm trying to get better at it. I'm watching videos. And I'm reading books about emotional intelligence, but it's like you can't teach it, I don't think. I can approximate it, like touch somebody on the shoulder. The healing power of touch when they are distressed or crying, or something bad has happened where they're likely to have negative feelings. Touch on shoulder or back and pat and look at them. And with sustained eye contact. as I fucking guess what to do. Oh, you can blow the fuckers out of the way. Interesting. Alright, that's what happens if you do that. Good to know. I think one of my major life goals is just get better at that, because that seems to be a recurring cause of problems for me. It's just not knowing what to say in a difficult scenario. And people really value that in a partner and in a friend. If you don't have that, it's a major, major drawback. Maybe I can, no? Evidently not. It's kind of a self-reinforcing cycle, though. You wind up alone because you don't know how to do that stuff, but because you're alone, you never develop the skills to help other people with their problems. You just learn how to survive your own. And that's often the best you can do. So there's no way I can interfere with that beam. You know what it might be? You know what it fucking might be? I think I've got an idea of it now. I do this. Then I do this. Then I stand on that plate, and then it has a timer. I'm very good at reasoning. Star Trek and other lying TV programs led me to believe that being very good at reasoning is all I would need in order to understand people. But the thing is, a lot of people won't reason with you, and you can't force them. They feel as if you're not really understanding them if you don't understand and acknowledge their emotional state. Like they go in with very strong emotions, and if you don't acknowledge those feelings and the reasons for them, and engage them emotionally in the language that they're familiar with and they're fluent in, then they feel as if you were being an asshole robot. I fucking knew it. How'd I fucking know that? How'd I know that would solve it and save the day? That's not the gate that opens, okay. Probably there's a star in here somewhere. No, there's not. Never mind. Never thought that I wouldn't need a crate on there until the very end. Oh no, I don't. A single mother's not going to be a sugar mama. And everybody in my age range who would be interested already has a child, if they're not completely fucked up. Unless they're autistic, I might be able to find an autistic woman in like her 30s. There's this really beautiful, interesting woman I'm talking about numericity and other such topics with in time and Qualia on Boo, but she has disappeared for the last week. I don't know if she died or if she's shit testing me. Because she mentioned on her profile guys getting really ugly when she would express disinterest. And I imagine that in her shoes, or at least I've read about this, that what she would do is make promising first moves and then just disengage and hang back to see what I'll do, expecting me to send a long, bitter incel rant at her out of insecurity, like a puppy left alone in a new puppy left alone in an apartment and just eventually tearing up all the furniture in anxiety. I'm almost 40. I don't do that. That's the kind of thing that like teenage boys do. I just ignore it and wait. Her last message was that she I think I said she was teasing me. She said she only teases the ones she likes. So, fingers crossed. She appears to be in my age range, and she appears to be well-to-do and not have any children. That would be the grand slam, wouldn't it? I only solved one of them. Fuck me. This is going to be harder than I thought. I still don't have the piece I need to unlock the thing, either. Wouldn't it be funny if I could just grab the axe and do it? That's not real, is it? I'm gonna fucking shit with rage if this is the last test. The ultimate IQ test in this game is just smashing this tube with the axe. This doesn't work, does it? Okay, that would be really stupid if that actually worked. I only need that piece. I only need that piece. Somehow I have to get that piece. How do I do that? This is the kind of game you can play for many months. Is the fucking problem here. Still, we've made reasonable progress tonight, haven't we? I think I'm going to quit a little bit early. I streamed longer than last time. Last time I was in a much worse mood. Although, I mean, I'm in a different kind of weird mood now. I think I'm dissociating. I should be crying, shouldn't I? I feel anxious, but I don't feel sad. I think I'm in shock. This happened when Jenny died. I felt totally okay until I got to the vet with her. It was time to actually inject the stuff. And when I felt her stop breathing in my arms, I fucking lost it. That's what happens when you lose your mind with grief. It doesn't hit you all at once. I'll keep you all apprised. I need to focus in the next couple days on getting plasma drawn so I don't miss the window for the cash bonuses. I need to focus on finishing the next video, which is way overdue by like 2 months at this point. I don't know what's an appropriate venue to keep you guys updated. I guess just Discord, like usual. So I will see you again on Friday. Same ham time, same ham channel. Sorry it was such a depressive downer stream. Sometimes that's the way it goes. Life comes at you. 7 o'clock p.m. West Coast time, usually to 11 o'clock p.m. or thereabouts. This is Ham Dad signing off and returning you to your regularly scheduled sleepy time, which I'm going to go avail myself of now.